They say he probably gonna back out of that.
We back
I
live.
don't know why fight for it so hard, but it basically it's been declared a done deal.
Yeah, because I understand that his caused his Tesla start to lose a lot of money since he's went forward with it.
So somebody has to conceal
We back
because
live.
it was pretty much a done deal the way he talked about it.
Well, I know what he talked about, but now they were saying how much the Tesla stock has paid the price for it and some stuff that he was basically like, it was kind of like, he might have been doing to try to drive up stock prices and everything that they was talking about, that he may have to pay a certain penalty for it, so basically that the Twitter folks would make $1 billion, I think is whatever he's got to pay. So, but it's cheaper for him to back out then because the loss he's taking on the stock.
That's what I was about to say. So does he have a time frame in which he can back off?
Yeah.
Because
he got to pay $1 billion.
Because it's based. I know they say it was based on some flawed math and some flawed decision making. I felt like the flawed decision making had to be that the drop in stock, because I knew that there was a drop in stock with Tesla, but didn't know it was that critical. Because a lot of times they expect a drop in stock when they make certain purchases, especially one this big.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. That it was having impact and which and he got nailed before for some inside stock trade he did before with it. With this Tesla car.
So what's going to happen then? Because Twitter agreed to the sale.
But he
gonna pay that $1 billion to get out of it.
Yeah, $1 billion versus how many billions he agreed? 44 billion.
44 billion to purchase it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he can walk away and
look. Ain't that good to be a businessman to be able to get out of a deal like that? Because hey, once we get in a deal like that, they looking for their money. I mean, you gonna have to know how to be a good business person, regardless. But with us, it don't be that easy.
Yeah, but that was part of the contract.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's good to be able to get to manage those type of deals like that.
Because of what they said, that he didn't actually think Twitter was going to go through with it, and he was doing that drive of stock prices because he owned a certain percentage of it. So if it drove up the stock price, he could turn around and sell the stock and make money off it like that and everything. But then when he found out that he was taking such a hit with the Tesla stock, because like I said, he's had a hit in February.
But the thing about it to me is most buys like that with most mergers, even when you have to go with the FCC, they know that the other things that they own usually take a hit. They usually take a dive. So it must have been critical. It had to be critical because everybody doesn't always go straight to black when they make a purchase like that.
Yeah, it's been pretty critical. And see, the Tesla is having to do a lot of problems. They have a lot of problems with Tesla.
Right. They already having problems. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, and another something, when they're talking about these cars with these batteries, and I saw a story about it. Do you realize what's going to be the problem when these cars with batteries have a wreck?
I think we're back live. Mike, you see us back on YouTube yet?
Actually, I had to shut everything down because I had dead air going on to the station. Veronica, are you looking at us live?
So, let me get off YouTube because before it be on YouTube, you don't have to be connected, Mike.
No.
Okay, I see a commercial. Is that on commercial?
We're not on commercial. We just straight. Me and Mike. Me and Mike should just be on the screen right now.
It might be a delay.
Okay, right now it's a commercial. But you know what? That may be the beginning. Let me go off and go back on. Okay, no, it's loading. It's still loading right now.
Yeah, it's going first to YouTube first.
Okay, I think it's back. Now because it's allowing. It's saying comments and reactions will appear based on when people leave them. So I think it's back.
Okay.
Let me try and get
welcome back to our community conversations. Sorry about that. Evidently we were saying some stuff that was a little too hot for TV. So we. I guess we'll cool off.
Comment segment.
It ain't the amount of comments no more. I fixed that. I think I think they just censoring our shows or something.
But do y'all see where I just made this? I just said comment. Can y'all see that?
I don't see any
That'd be
comments.
Daryl.
I don't see any
Okay, yeah,
comments.
on Facebook.
I don't see any right this minute.
And hold on one second. I'm gonna check something.
It's just something else here.
Let me see. Can I take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Let's see.
For over 27 years here in Tuscaloosa, Catfish Heaven has been pleasing our taste buds with their delicious catfish, pan trout, hot wings, coleslaw, hush puppies, and don't forget about those made-to-order French fries. Whether it's your snack time, lunchtime, or dinner time, give the guys a call over at Catfish Heaven at 205-752-7222, or you can make your order online at catfishheaventuscaloosa.com. So head on over to Catfish Heaven at 2502 21st Street. See you there.
Hello? Hey, Rick. I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother? I went down to Thomas Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie. And I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
We're back live. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties or some shutdown, but whatever it was, we're back now. We're back live here on the Community Correction.
And see, that's probably what I was saying, that we're back, but I couldn't see coming.
I see Daryl.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. It's just showing me.
Okay, it's back.
Yeah, we're back now. We'll be fine. I think something they just don't want to hear people talking about. I guess I don't know.
That's what we were talking about during the commercial break. There was the fact that trying to inform people of some of the stuff that we were hearing tonight was absolutely positively some of the best things that we could have been hearing. And of course, we don't think that they want our people to hear these things because, once again, it was saying we don't want y'all to go out there in droves. They say 25% of Alabama population is African American, And I'm wondering is that still the case? Are we still 25%? Is it higher now?
Could be higher.
Here in the state.
Actually, it's a little higher.
I would think it's higher in my personal opinion. But certain things. Well, Mr. Trav, we're looking forward to having you on the show to give us your platform. What's between next Tuesday and Thursday? What you think? Which would be best for you?
It's actually almost 28% now.
What would be a good what would be a good day for your interview for weekend? We kind of.
The next week, I would look forward to. So next week between Tuesday
or Thursday, whichever one you want.
Let's see here. Let's look at actually next Thursday would be fine. Would be perfect for me.
Next Thursday?
No, next Tuesday got some. So next Tuesday, next Thursday would be great.
Okay. Well, we'll set it for that. Like I said, a lot of people paying more attention right now to the basketball game. I understand the Golden State Warriors in Memphis is a pretty good series that's going on, and people are paying quite a bit of attention to that. And we go through this every year. We know during college football and basketball, it's going to be a certain amount of people that's going to pay attention to what we're talking about. But only way we can get the attention of the people if you got some gossip. Now, if you got some gossip, it'll overrule watching that game for a little while. It had to be some real good gossip. It got to be some who shot JoJo and JoJo did this and May and Road Mirror and all them got into it, got to fighting, and somebody pulled a gun. Then we get the attention of a lot more people. But just to say, hey, teachers are the most important people in our lives, our children's lives. We don't want to hear that. We're gonna watch the game. That's just how that go. That's just how that go, and we're accustomed to that. And conversations, I think it's just enjoyable just to hear people, having different opinions about different stuff and talking about informative information. This is very informative. Just think, like I said, if they made the election day, the primary and the election day itself in November, holidays, national holidays or state holidays, according to whatever state you're in, that you have to, if you go vote, just say, okay, you're going to vote, you can take off with pay. But if you don't go vote, then we're going to take your time. Some of that nature. So, I think we can make people, not necessarily but we can encourage people more to get out and vote. But we shouldn't have to have those kind of incentives. But there again, you got production work for us, these plants and different things that must be mandated to meet quota. So, we're not going to take off for that, or you can use your own time to go do that, but you got to be back.
But just though, Daryl, like most of them plant workers, they lunch break is like 35 minutes or 40 minutes.
Right.
And there's no way you're going to make it. If you say in Tuscaloosa, there's no way you're going to make it from Woodstock or Banks or anywhere like that back to your district to vote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of puts you behind the 8 ball. And some of them people don't get off until after 7 o'clock. So already the polls is closed.
True.
Well, and that was one of the things that used to happen down in Greensboro, at the time when the catfish processor plant was up, they would actually, election day, they would actually work overtime for that purpose. And then, and then at that time, polls, the law would pass and it's mandatory that elections polls were open some 7 to 7 throughout the entire state. That was places like there would close that poll place at 5 o'clock because it wasn't required. So, and stuff. So they would hold the folks and wouldn't let them off to work till after the poll had closed and everything. That's how they did maintain elections for so many times. So it's stuff that people do in that, but like I said, I agree. You go and then you get off to go in there and that's a line. If you get off and that's a line to go vote and wait, and they know they could easily solve that by having plenty of machines with their purpose to do that. So I know a couple of years ago what it was that we stood in line down in the bottom notice for around almost 3 hours. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're gonna make it more difficult for elderly and people with disabilities to go and vote now, because now you can't be dropped off. You can't give nobody no water. You can't have them eat in line.
Yeah, that's in Georgia, but I agree. Those type of things they're doing, all that to make it difficult, and then they're making it even, because that's what I can't understand why it's such a big issue, and making it difficult to vote absentee. That's a ballot. That's seniors who don't need to be trying to stand in line and people can do. But all those issues where they feel like those least of these can vote, they're trying to find the ways to make it difficult to vote.
And at this point, I put nothing past them, because the way they tried to do in Wisconsin, the way they tried to do in Georgia, I put nothing past them this time. They're just going to find a way to have it more secure still. If they're outvoted, they have people that they're putting in place over these, what is it? Oh my goodness, tip of my tongue. When they remove the Secretary of State, they have people that can sit there and challenge the pollster. Who wants to go there and argue with somebody? And you know who they're going to have sitting there? The Republicans are going to be the ones that's at the polls giving you problems.
And exactly right. And that's one thing, particularly, they always used to point, like I know that home, it's the same poll workers who've been there all the time, but everybody, they voted when they come in, but you got to show an ID, so when everybody, and the law does say somebody knows, but everybody knows these folks, these folks, my parents don't go now, but, they're 92 and 91. There's nobody down in that community that don't know my father when he walks up to everything,
Right.
These folks in the polling place and stuff, they just make it difficult to be difficult. You know what I'm saying?
And just to be difficult. Like I said, they tried to steal it the last time, said we stole it, even though they tried to steal it. So now they're putting laws in place, they're putting people in place to give you a headache. You already get a headache when you go down there and they say, well, you're supposed to be over here to vote. You go over there, then they say, well, we don't have you on the thing or whatever. You got to do absentee. Sometimes people will do it, but sometimes people are discouraged. Now you have it in some states where they are actually allowing the poll worker to question you and basically refuse your right to vote. A poll worker.
Well, and if I was with some of our people, it's so hard to come to vote, and they come and vote this time. They won't be, they'll just say, oh, forget it, and
exactly. Well, yeah, and leave. Right.
But then y'all always think about this. If you notice, every time Republicans have the election passed, the voters they always put hot button issues like abortion or stuff like that they put on the ticket to drive folks to the polls. And just think about it, because I'm hearing from the white community folks that the way they have run commercials right now, you have actually probably drove most folks away from the polls to decide, because there are decent folks out here in the United States who have just decided, look, I just can't go vote for neither one of them. But you know what? You got an abortion issue or some other issue that they put on about the guns or something like that they put on that good would bring their folks to the polls. It ain't about that they come to vote for these candidates. It's about these other type of issues that they utilize to drive these elections.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, for I just can't understand people who want to tell a woman whether you agree with abortion or not, and it boils down to personal choice when things aren't hurting you or the next person. It's personal choice between a woman and her doctor, and they said that leak said that it didn't even have any exceptions in it to the rule. leaving it up to states. So women would have to travel state to state, and then they're saying, okay, if they do this, like we were saying, what else would it do? Interracial marriage? Okay, well, they now say federally, just trying to get something that they take the House and the Senate, where they say, well, let's federally ban abortion. You know, when they get on the roll, they get on the roll. Some of them are already saying, what can we do next? Because with that leak, they think that's in the bag now. It's pretty much a done deal.
Well, that's what I think somebody wanted to let you know so people can start reacting. But the other thing is what's so, and it's really, besides the issue about was a woman's right to choose and everything, but there are legitimate health issues or health situations that arises that determines, the need for an abortion. And it's just like if a mother's life is in danger to carry, the child through to fruition. Would you rather have the mama and the child both dead and leaving young children here all alone, or give her that option to do what needs to be done? There could be situations where the fetus, after development, they reach a conclusion that this child would not be able to survive outside the womb. It may not be able to survive to be born in the womb. What do you do? You take all those options off the table,
But then when you ask them about their purpose, they just stand there with a blank stare. Yeah. They stand there with a blank stare. But then they accuse people who have the kids of putting them on the system. They're being a burden on the system. Yeah. So you want to tell the woman that, and you want to keep your right though to carry a gun. It's just the double talk.
Their mindset is throw them back when they're small and kill them when they get big. Right. That's how it is. Because that's one of those same people that just don't want to do away with abortion is in favor of the death penalty. And generally, the death penalty is African Americans for almost every time.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I have. Is concerned about. If you so much against abortion, how can you damn it for taking someone's life at the death penalty?
It's about control. It's about control. It's about taking their country back. And it's about making sure that no Caucasian people stop having kids, that they don't have kids. That means that they continue to have kids because of their fear. And you say that to them, they'll tell you, oh, you're talking hogwash. Well, hogwash washes sometimes.
Yeah, but then when we talk about that, are these same folks, are they going to still be illegal sterilization, forced sterilization of people? Mm-hmm. What about people, such as someone with mental health problems and stuff, but,
So if men start having vasectomies, we don't know how many men are having vasectomies every day. So if men start having vasectomies, is that going to be, so the ones who are voting on this, they don't think that way. They think that men are supposed to do whatever they're supposed to do. So men don't have to have this. You won't tell a man he can't have a vasectomy, but you're telling women they can't have abortions. I'm not saying it won't get to that point because some of these people are really weirdos. But right now they're not telling them that. And then when we tell them, well, okay, maybe y'all need to put down some of the guns, not just the people on the streets, but maybe some of these gun laws need more regulation. And y'all keep leaving that subject on the table, under the table, and everywhere else. But they don't want to be told that they can't. Oh, that's my constitutional, that's my, okay, well, at this point, Roe versus Wade, you pretty much stumping on some almost a constitutional right there. Something that's been in effect since 1973.
And and then when you say that constitutional right, actually, the other side, it's really not a constitutional right about abortion because it's nowhere listed in the Constitution. What you
exactly.
That you're taking away a person's freedom or independence, the right to choose and make the decisions about their lives, bodies, and everything. So that's what's even greater than everything because abortion, and they're saying that this thing came out the ruling from the standpoint that that they were saying in the case that they're making a reference to, that's where they said a woman was overturned, that a woman did not have to have permission of her husband to take birth control. That was where this whole stuff came out of that particular case. Mm-hmm. That thing was that a woman had to have, for she to take birth control, she had to tell her husband. You know, and that's not the case. You know, that's how all this stuff started. So it's crazy what we're dealing with, and I just, sad to see that where the darkness this country's plunging into out of self-hatred and everything. And if Trump gets back in, we can see all that wrapped up even more with the standpoint of even the things that he may be trying to do in this country, like Vladimir Putin, putting them against us. Against them.
I think so, because he was that person that gave all the I would say racist people permission to come out and be public.
Right.
For a long time, you had a lot of people that were undercover, and now you see so many people that I stand with Trump. And usually when you hear that, you kind of know what that means.
It lets you know how fake they were too before he entered office, because like I said, it's just they're blunt and blatant with it now. They would at least stand for something to make themselves appear human. Mm-hmm. But now they're blunt and blatant with it.
As a prime example, with every last one of the government candidates, each and every one of them is saying that they stand behind Trump. Each and every one of them is saying stuff like about a wall, about the transgender school even right now.
Right.
And at one time, there was no topics. There were topics that they never would even make like I said. Anybody else, anywhere else, they would be counseled. And they don't even care about that.
Yeah. You can tell a woman she has to carry a child, but the government can't tell you that you need to take this vaccine. You can tell a woman that she has to have a child, but nobody can tell you any limits on gun control. Mm-hmm. You can tell a woman she has to have a child, but you don't want the government's money to pay for it. When it's the taxpayers' money, it's not their money, but we're taking care of them.
Or you gotta wear a mask. or you gotta wear a mask.
Mm-hmm. And I just have to be walking by the bologna, y'all. But when in the heck is bologna $6.84? For bologna, the chicken breast right down the aisle don't cost $6. Some of it. It's funny on what's going up too. Mm-hmm. It's really funny on what's almost a delicacy now because of the price. Red rim Oscar Mayer bologna $6.84, $7. Just the bologna, not no deli chicken, rotisserie ham, smoked ham, bologna.
Mm. That's the 10th. That's the 10th slice. That's the
some Naughty or some Bar S. It makes no sense how much some of this stuff is. And Veronica, you and I were talking about that. Going to the Piggly Wiggly in I think you said Northport. No, you was 69, I think. Going to the Piggly Wiggly on 69, getting something, and then I forgot something. Let me go to the Piggly Wiggly on the west side, and the price is almost $10 difference.
It's kind of like buying gas on the west side.
Ridiculous. Right.
Why is everything higher in the places that people need it the most? They're less likely to be able to afford it.
Well, again, it's corporate greed. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But then they also be Christians.
And I don't know, this Roe versus Wade thing may make people turn out more. Remember the women that showed up when he was elected? Remember the turnout? 7 million, 8 million. So what's the total of what was the turnout? It may, but that's why I feel like they're going to try to seal it even more. Because it's encouraging. The things that they're doing is encouraging their people to come out of the hills and mountains of Tennessee and everywhere else that don't usually vote But these kind of things are also driving more women.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's driving more women, white women, well, some of them, because some of them still, number vote Trump, but particularly black women, which has been the substance of survival, to make up for the stupidity. And then it's going to be the younger white women, but
some of those college kids whose their parents thinking they're going to vote the way they want them to vote, but they don't go inside that. They don't go inside that vote booth, and they're thinking about their futures and how they're trying to establish a career right now. And what if something comes up and they want to decide on their own how to deal with it, not that the government tell them yes or no, you can, you can't.
Well, some of them do try to do, because I know a girl I remember a couple years ago, that was her first time voting. Her dad made sure he brought her and voted with her, because knowing her, she brought with her. Voted for the Democrats and stuff like that, but he made sure that she did the right thing, get it done, and so he came with her and made sure how she voted. He didn't come with his wife, but he came with his daughter, and so it tells me a lot right there, like you're right, baby, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
To keep the influence. But like I said, we got to be strong and keep faith, and the thing about it, we only benefit when we talk about it, because truly there's somebody that learns when we talk about it and expound on it with true intent, that the true purpose. That's the time we're gonna have to make it, make a difference on this thing, because if not, we just gonna keep the progression backwards, and then our people. And then that's the other thing that we got to make sure is that our people that's in public office will have to be held. The public has always been holding them accountable. We just have paid attention. But that's why they said, what good does it make for me to vote? They're going to do what they want to anyway. They're going to do this. And that's the accountability that we got to have as elected officials and the public too, the voters. So that knowing, no, we're not going to do just what we want to do. We're going to do what you, as your representative, want me to do, and bring it back and discuss it. And that's what's so important about elections and who you elect. Because if you got somebody who won't meet with you, who won't return your call, and then you get them, and then they show up the election time, you show the vote, but you don't hear from them, see from them no more to the next election time. That tells you a lot, because truly they can't be representing your interests. They don't go see where you're at and what your condition you're in, the situation you're dealing with, and trying to figure out ways to help solve it. They're not going to make a difference, and that's why we got to make sure, that the people we elected, putting in these offices, they have accountability. It's just something, that they need to be, what's wrong with once you're elected, having a town hall meeting with your constituents, even if nobody comes, at least you can say, I had it, I offered it. These are the type of things that people don't need to know, and everything, And I'll say this for one thing I learned. I used to work, Kev got Richard Shepard when he first got elected as a Democrat worker. He made a commitment, and one commitment he's kept ever since he's been there. He promised once elected he would have a town hall meeting in every county in the state every year. And he's kept that promise from the time he's first elected senator up until this present time, and that's the simple man. He may not be in that town for 15 minutes, but he showed up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He may come in on a Saturday or whatever, and he may make 3 counters in one day or 4, but he showed up. He didn't stay long, but he showed up. You can't say he didn't keep their promise. And that's the type of thing that because the ones that got an issue that they know it, they're going to show whoever wants to talk to them, they'll show up. And that's all that matters to him every time.
Hey, it's after 10, y'all. We're gonna talk more about Roe versus Wade on Thursday. If you'd like to join the conversation with us again on Thursday, we'll talk more about it, and hopefully we'll be able to stay on and educate the people about the upcoming primary election that's going to take place on May 24th. Very important that we get out and vote and talk more and more on social media. I think it's up to us to remind the people that's on social media that it's time to it's time to vote again, because I don't see any ads, I don't see any kind Go out and vote. I don't see any organizations that are putting out any information social media, and we don't need to wait till last minute. So, if you can download a photo and something to remind them that May 24th is the primary election, a day that you can vote, that you need to go out and vote, that you should go out and vote, that we want you to go out and vote. Let's do that. I'll try to download some kind of flyer or put something together just to remind the people it's more to it. It is time to go out and vote for this primary. And this, some people don't understand. Okay, this is a primary. So this is to determine which representative in this particular political organization. If you're a Republican, then you got to decide which Republican you want. In the Democrat, you got to decide which Democrat candidate you want to be your representative. This is that particular time for the upcoming election on November the 2nd. So, great conversation tonight. Hopefully, we can do a great continuation on Thursday. And that'll be our topic on Thursday, Roe versus Wade conversation. And we'll go from there, y'all.
All right, y'all.
All right, hey. Thanks so much for calling in tonight. We did appreciate everything that you talked to us about. We hope that you can come in with us on Thursday. Veronica, appreciate you also as well.
Always. Mm-hmm.
Well, we appreciate y'all, and we just have to. It's like whenever they do what they do, we just have to keep on. Just like when Trace was talking about voting, you get frustrated, but you just got to keep on. Just keep on. You just got to keep doing. You just got to keep on. Just like we get kicked out, we keep coming back.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll talk on Thursday.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Y'all have a good night.
Y'all have a great one.